All right. Good morning. Another cloud and coffee day. I think this is day 6 now on the 100 Days of Cloud. Yesterday, I I attended the CDK day from AWS or from the CDK community, the Cloud Development Kit. Um, it was really awesome. They did a great job, I think, of bringing in a bunch of different speakers on different topics, and I learned a lot of interesting stuff. Some of which I'm gonna eventually apply to my CDK side projects. Um, but yeah, it was super interesting. A lot of um, the Slack channel for the CDK day was on fire. I mean, there was people talking about a lot of different interesting things, and um, I was in there, asking questions too. Um, it also covered. Well, let me just pull it up. Actually, it also covered like CDK eights, CDK day. So yeah, it was yesterday, unfortunately, but I'm pretty sure they'll post like all the videos to YouTube eventually. But yeah, it covered like CDK for Terraform, CDK eights, and it's just really good. I mean, another so CDK.dev. So this is like the CDK.dev website where you can join the Slack channel where a lot of that discussion was going on, and if you wanted to like look at it further and um, if you have any questions going forward, there's a lot of people in there now. I think it increased quite a bit with like the success of yesterday, but it it's definitely growing, and I think it's going to continue to grow. And it was really fun, really good job by those guys. But today, um, I'm still on the modern infrastructure as code with Pulumi. Um, and, you know, uh, the day before yesterday, we went through some of the additional content here, including deploying Argo CD onto the EKS cluster. And then we tried to go through GitOps for Socks Shop, but found an open bug um, that didn't allow us to actually deploy it. And it was something about the output of the kube config file, um, but unfortunately didn't really troubleshoot it further than that, as it seemed like it was a bigger issue maybe. But anyways, I scrolled down here and saw there's a couple more interesting like sections. Um, Specifically, I saw this like Lambda for serverless application patterns that I think I'm gonna give this one a try. So yeah, still have the same Cloud9 instance though. So we have all of our old directories here. And we'll just keep building off of this, and then eventually I'll push all of this up to GitHub and post it. So yeah, let's move this over a little bit. All right, let's get started. So using AWS Lambda for serverless application patterns. Um, we'll create a serverless web application that uses API Gateway and Lambda along with a dynamic DynamoDB based hit counter. So this kind of sounds familiar to like the CDK workshop. I think that was one of the objectives there was to create like a hit counter type thing. But anyways, let's see here. Why is that looking like so weird? Okay. So let me just make sure where I'm at. Make their serverless. Okay. There's a new version of Pulumi. We'll keep going with the current version that we're on. Okay, so we just need to install some packages here. I think our region is already, well, maybe it's, I wonder if these configs are, they might be per stack, so you have to set the config maybe. But they really want us to upgrade. Creating a DynamoDB table. Start by installing the AWS SDK package. This will allow you to query your DynamoDB from your Lambda. Okay. That's weird. No space left on this device. What? Is it? Hmm. Can you like edit the volume size on a Cloud9? I don't think you can. It's awkward. Okay, one sec. Let me just try to. Actually, we're gonna just go through and do some live troubleshooting. I guess that's. I just didn't want to like expose anything, any sensitive information, but I don't think I don't think that'll happen. But so off to Google we go to see if we can find out how to resize Cloud9. Okay, so we can actually just open it in the EC2 console. So open the, let's move this over here. All right. So open the environment that's associated with the EC2 instance for the EBS volume that you want to resize. Oh, wow, that's pretty nice. You just give us this nice little bash script. Take that. Let's put this up here. Uh, what's the DF? Yeah, we're maxed out. That's crazy. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so then we have to, well, let's save this first. Wow, can't even. Let's see if I can get rid of some of these node modules, like in the IAC workshop. Those are always really big, aren't they? We might need that. Let's see what happens now. Okay. Now it's finally able to save the resize file. So let's chmod x. Oh, we could have just done. Well, we can just do this now. Let's make it 40. That's cool. So we do df now. Nice. Now we got more space. Cool. It's good to know. Nice little nice little bash script. I gotta be honest. I don't think I've ever seen like Amazon documentation just include like a bash script to do exactly what I wanted it to do. So, anyways, okay. I think we're back to the little detour there, but we're back to the workshop. So now hopefully we can um, install the SDK. Oops. npm install AWS SDK. Cool. So now we can just bring in those packages. We're not getting code completion now, though. I think it's because it's still like stopped site. So we're setting attributes. Is that the index key, the primary index key? Hash key site. Okay. Uh, this will create an EKS cluster. I don't think so. Looks like they copy and pasted this little section here. I think maybe we'll submit a pull request because we're actually creating a DynamoDB table, not a EKS cluster. All right, we'll do Pulumi up. Oh yeah, thanks for creating a Pulumi or a EKS stack, but that needs to be updated. All right, so creating IAM policies before creating your website, the Lambda will need a certain IAM role and permission. This permits the Lambda's function to assume the right identity at runtime, log into CloudWatch to aid with debugging, and to use the DynamoDB table defined in the previous step. So this is one thing that I do not miss, or sorry, this is one thing that I really enjoy about CDK and the ecosystem there. Like I looked at like IAM roles and permissions is just such a difficult thing to wrap anyone's head around, especially when you have to like sort of create these declarative like roles and policies. Like with the CDK, there's a like method or like function that you could use that says grant read write from this Lambda object to the DynamoDB object, which is just super powerful. But instead, here we're still trying to define the actual uh, policy, which is just. Ugh. I thought that would have been something in like the Pulumi for AWS crosswalks, but I guess not. All right, so we'll just do this anyways. Handler, it's good practice still. You know, it's always good to know what permissions are going where, but it's really nice when you have something to just provide least privilege right off the bat. You don't have to spend time trying to figure out what permissions. Here. You know what? I think I'm gonna actually. Is there a way we can like restart the? See if we can do like. Let's try and reboot it so we can get the um, that intelligence back. Kind of miss it. All right, let's see if that helped. Okay. So there it is. Got our intelligence back. Thank God. Man, can't type today. Yeah, I mean, so like this could be abstracted away into like its own function. So that when you're trying to provide permissions to the lambda to like the DynamoDB table, it should just be like one line instead of writing all these writing these roles and policies. I mean, once you like get to or once you've tried the uh, CDK way of using their using those like functions and methods to provide IAM access between services, it's really difficult to go back to doing this. I think that's why I'm really sad about like that I have to write all this. .arn .apply ARN. Oops. String if I. So IAM policies are in JSON format. All right, almost there. Dynamo DB describe table. So we're giving it access. We're giving the Lambda. So in this policy, we're giving the Lambda access to update, put, get to the DynamoDB table as well as the CloudWatch logs. All right, I think. Whew, that was a lot, but I think that's it. Okay, so now now creating an API gateway. Now create an API gateway powered by Lambda for sole REST API handler for GET request at the route. The first step is to create the code for the Lambda itself. This is the code that will run in response to the API call at runtime. Place the code in a new handler index.js file. Okay, so create a new folder. Okay. async function event context callback. So we'll console.log. This is what we'll see in the CloudWatch logs. Received event. Const BC equals new AWS Dynamo DB document client. So that's where we bring in the DynamoDB, or we instantiate the const result. So we're setting up some environment variables here for the table name. Corp. We return values updated new. And we promise. And we return status code 200 headers. Content type. And then the body, say H1 group, close H1 tag. Okay, what? Oh, plus. Yeah, we need to pass in the hits, right? So, plus, is that like that thing? P paragraph. And then this is the interpretation for the attributes. Okay, so now that's the code for our Lambda. But now we need to add the API gateway and Lambda based handler to our like Pulumi application. So if we come back over here, and then now we can say, so that's our policy, right? Const site equals new. So here we use the crosswalks API gateway API site. Outs. We are gonna use net. Path is the root method. It handler new s it handler. Node.js 10 code new Asset archive. Keep. Okay. I've never seen this before. So it's view for me. Asset file archive. So we're giving it like the location of this is the handler directory. Oh wait, that's not a curly brace. Asset archive. It's in like this folder, but then Pulumi asset or file archive. Give it the name of the directory where the Lambda code is. Interesting. So we can do that and then say handler is index dot handler. Give it, oops. Give it the role that we created before, handler role dot arn. And then we pass in the environment variables that we set inside the Lambda code. So the name of the table, we can add some dependencies here, it looks like. So depends on handler policy. Right, yeah, because we need the policy to attach to the role to assign to the Lambda. And then we can just export const URL site. Cool. Notice this definition resources, the code stored in handler slash index.js file through the use of an asset, a mechanism for packaging up files and directories for use by your infrastructure. At the end, your API's base URL will be printed. All right. So, barring any typos. Oh, yep, there was something wrong there. Knew it. Oh, Cool. So if we open this up here, what do we get? Oh, I would have thought we would have got the. Let's try and see if this works. Internal server error. So I wonder if I wrote something wrong. Maybe. It's possible to simplify your serverless applications by moving the runtime code into the infrastructure definition. This isn't always the right way to design your infrastructure as code, but for fully serverless applications like this one, where the boundary between application infrastructure is intentionally blurred, this can be a great way to go. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I guess it's just another option to sort of bundle it all together. But I think I'm definitely more of a fan of abstracting the the lambda code from the infrastructure. But I mean, maybe I did something wrong. Let's go into lambda and see. So what happens if we test? Test. Okay, so there was like a yeah. So I must have copied this incorrectly or something. Like, uh, let's go back to the. So I'll just try to see if copying it directly instead of me trying to type it all out. See if that works better. It's obviously different. So probably screwed something up somewhere. What's going on here? Okay. So let me CD back into the serverless deployment and pull me up. All right, so that went really fast. Um, see what happens if we try and hit this again. So that's the old one. But there it goes. Okay. Yeah, so I think I just fat fingered something in the Lambda code. So yeah, I mean you can see. Well, let me zoom in a little bit. I think it's kind of hard to see. Here we go. But basically, we can keep refreshing it, and the number of hits will just increment. So pretty cool. It's kind of interesting that um, like you're doing this within the Lambda, I guess. Like, I wonder if you could just add. I think my session got timed out. I wonder if you could just add like in the Pulumi, like in the CDK. I'm aware of like adding the Lambda like resource as like, or sorry, the DynamoDB resource as like a destination for the Lambda function, um, and and then like doing the incrementing like through there instead of like within the function itself. But I guess there's multiple ways to do it. So, all right, yeah, I think that's it for today. So yeah, I'm just gonna pull me. Oops. Destroy. Yeah, and so yeah, that's the Pulumi destroy. Testing your infrastructure. So I'm kind of trying to look forward to tomorrow or the next day of coffee or cloud and coffee. I think it might be done with the modern infrastructure as code with Pulumi. I think it might be time to try something else and venture out a little bit more. I guess the like test driven, that's kind of interesting. You ever, I mean, I'm aware of the whole concept of like test driven development, but I've never actually seen that done in like infrastructure as code. So that might be an interesting, concept to go through and learn about because I think it's often overlooked, or especially with coming from CloudFormation, and even Terraform, there there's linting and stuff like that, but I'm not aware of actual like testing of your infrastructure to make sure it like passes a test first and then deploys. So maybe it's something to look into next, but um, I'm gonna look through the different workshops again and see if something else like sort of sparks my interest, because kind of been going through this modern infrastructure as code with Pulumi for a couple weeks now. So maybe it's time to venture out to other things, even though there was plenty of great information in here, and I really enjoyed this workshop, and I think it's definitely worth the time to go through uh, and see how the evolution of infrastructure as code has really changed. Especially, like I said, if you're coming from uh, like a cloud formation or the more declarative form of infrastructure as code, it's certainly something to look into. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. might might see if something else seems okay, but yeah, cool. All right. Thanks all for watching. We'll see you next time.